Oh, did I just step on your foot? Sorry, you missed that. That was kind of ugly. You ready, Rex? You ready? What are you waiting for? Let's go out the door for weather and more. It's kind of late today. So pretty, isn't it? 25 degrees at 10:22 a.m. on January 22, and wow, the sun is shining. We've now had a clear sky for close to 24 hours. Wow, what a streak of blue sky. Well, it was a moonlit sky last night. And I forgot to point out the last several nights that was Jupiter next to the moon, which is getting bigger each night. So we are on a streak of clear sky now, almost one day in a row. We've had snow on the ground now since late last Sunday. So this is the 9th day in a row with snow on the ground, 8th morning in a row. And in that time, I think it's snowed about 4 different times. And in Boston, the temperature's been below 32 degrees now since last Tuesday afternoon. 7 days, going on 7 days, about 137 hours. I think the temperature does get above freezing in Boston today. The ice bucket. Remember it was wobbly a couple days ago? I said it's because ice expands. The bucket was wobbly, but since then it's not wobbly anymore and it didn't break. So what happened? Well, I think the ice solidifying separated the ice from the bucket. So how long will this ice last? A streak of how long this ice will last. Will it make it through this week? That was cool. One thing at a time, one day at a time, Tim. Things are changing rapidly. That streak of, I think I got the number wrong yesterday, but 18 days in a row with accumulating snow in New England. Yesterday it stopped snowing just about sunrise, but a few areas did get a couple of tenths of an inch. All we need is 1/10 of an inch of snow to keep that streak going. Is it snowing in New England? It didn't look like it, but then Mitch came out with this tweet this morning. Mitch, Vermontster, high up in the southern Green Mountains, says, if you look really closely, it's snowing. But it's not accumulating yet, so it doesn't count yet. But the day is young. It's not even noontime. Oh, and for the first time, we've actually got some saltwater ice accumulating not just on the rocks. We've got ice in the water, which is also known as slush. Not enough for us to go ice breaking at Charlie's Marina just yet. And if we could get a few more mornings like this in a row, it would happen, but that's not happening, I don't think. Today is the last day where it stays near freezing. I think we are getting above freezing in Boston this afternoon. There's the ice in the rocks. There's some ice there off at George Lane Beach. So we almost had saltwater ice. I mean, winter's not over, but I think this is probably the longest stretch. How pretty is this of very cold enough to make ice? And there is ice skating going on, but my ice skates are not here. They're in a different state. There's some ice right there. I left them up in Vermont. Yeah, I'd kind of given up on playing pond hockey down here, but there is ice. All right, so what are the streaks? Let's see. All right, so I get some breaking news in the snowfall department. Jeff Eldridge always asks me, am I going to have to plow or shovel snow when these systems are coming? And Friday night, we thought there might be 2 inches, and there was 1 inch in South Dennis. And he texted me Saturday evening when he saw the radar. He said, am I going to have to plow tonight? I said, no. And then guess what? He had to plow. We got 1.5 inches of snow on Saturday night on Cape Cod. I didn't know that as of yesterday at this time. And where is that storm now? That storm is halfway across the Atlantic Ocean, another in the parade of severe winter storms. This one out over the ocean at 974 millibars and deepening rapidly, hurricane force. And what about that snow from last Friday? Well, that storm has gone all the way up into the North Sea, near west of Scandinavia, with winds of over 100 miles per hour in Scotland. And that is a monster storm out there. 947 millibars, that's 27.94 inches on your barometer if you're keeping track at home. And if you remember, about 10 days ago, a couple of the Euro runs had that in the mid-940s over New England on Friday. So it did end up in the mid-940s. So the stakes are high on the weather maps, even though it looks so quiet and calm right now. My fingers are actually warming up just by being in the sun for a moment right now. That's just gorgeous. Imagine being up in that jet and looking down at the winter landscape. So there was snow and ice on the ground from Louisiana to Maine on the visible satellites yesterday. Here's the visible satellite today of the eastern United States. And big cloud now coming across the Mississippi River Valley. And it's on the backside of strong high pressure, and it's freezing rain in Little Rock, Arkansas. Again, how many ice storms have we had in the lower 48 in the last 10 days? Countless. All right, so what's the weather system causing this? Well, it's the backside of this second record cold high pressure system that's crossed the nation in 2 weeks. Massive and strong, and we're still on the cold side of it here in New England, but on the backside, the warm front's really pretty far to the north. So it's just sort of an area of precipitation from Canada right down to the Gulf of Mexico. You've got rain, then you got ice, then you got snow. And the northern edge of that, a piece of that's going to break off and come over us. So, shall we get down to the hour-by-hour forecast? It is going to snow in New England before midnight, and we're going to keep this streak going. This is the NAM that just came out, and their blue little piece of that Midwest system breaks through and runs through here tonight with a coating of snow for you, Mitch, in southern Vermont. And then tomorrow, we're kind of getting a little break in the morning, and then here comes another band of snow coming across and all the way to Cape Cod, Nantucket, Martin. Probably not. I don't think so. I think it's going to be too warm, but it does show a band of snow kind of sliding from northwest to southeast, so that means we're still on the colder side of the front. And then another band comes in, more significant, for Tuesday night into early Wednesday before that diminishes. So it looks like we could have another few inches of snow, even close to Boston here, coming in through Wednesday, and then it should warm up. Steve's gone right around this bush. It should warm up. Here's the Boston 3 to 5 day from the GFS. I usually show the Euro, but the GFS keeps us cold in Boston. Not cold enough for snow, but relatively cold. Warms up to about 40 by the end of the week. The Euro has us near 60 on Friday. Okay, so that's only a 20-degree difference in 5 days. Who wants to make the call? What is wind? Air. What is wind? It's air. Moving from high to low pressure. So which high is going to be in control? Let's roll the tape. No, let's go to the Wednesday morning map. There's a 1040 or 1035 south of New England, trying to push warmer air in. There's a front right over New England, and there's a 1030. I might be confusing Wednesday and Friday. Another high to our north. Anyhow, that Wednesday morning high, can't remember the strength, is going to take off. And it looks like Thursday we're all going to be under the influence of the southern high. Front is stalled. I shouldn't say all, maybe not at the Canadian border. The front is stalled here. And then on Friday, let's go to the I'm going to show you the Euro, because I always do. And it shows more of a low in southern Canada with a wind from the southwest. But some of the guidance actually says that the high to the north in Canada is going to be in control. I'm going to be on the colder side. So forget about any forecast for Thursday, Friday, until we get to about tomorrow. It's going to be unsettled. How pretty is this? Shall we just watch this bird for a while? Watch my cat watching this bird for a while? Somebody stop me. I guess I'm beating around the bush, or is it an Alberta spruce? Because I really would love to give you the forecast for what's going to happen. My inkling is that we're going to have about a 30-degree temperature gradient in New England on Thursday, Friday, into Saturday, with temperatures probably in the 50s in New York City and near freezing around Portland, Maine or so. And that gradient is going to generate a lot of clouds, fog, drizzle, showers, periods of rain, ice. My friends at J Peak are already texting me. Are we screwed for Friday with rain? Come on, people, enjoy the day. If it is gonna rain up there on Friday, we'll just call it a hiccup. Then let's go to next week. Let's start with, wait, I gotta sneeze. What's going on? I hear something. You guys hear something? I don't know where my sneeze went. Oh, there we go. We've got action. Oh yeah, thank you, Donald Peacock, for explaining to me what that barge was with the tugboat in the rear end. He said that's a compost. What? I don't understand that. Anyhow, there's another one right here. So there's your tug, kind of keeping it in one direction. It's Boston Transportation Tug, or Transportation Boston. And I can't read that one. And then there's another one in its rear end, and supposedly that's called a compost. I have a lot to learn, but I appreciate you, Donald, and everybody here teaching me as we go. Again, can't plan these things, it just happens. So much beauty in the world. Try and find the beauty. All right, and the wonder of it all, too, these storms. Historic storms continue. It's only January, no end in sight. Let's get back to that Euro. Going forward, the weekend gradually getting colder. The front settles to the south, and then look what happens Sunday night and next Monday. Benchmark sub 990 low south of Nantucket with a strong 1035 high. That's a pressure gradient of more than 45 millibars next Monday. If this Euro is right, that is close to a blizzard for you, Martin. But if we can't trust the 3-day forecast, how are we going to trust the 8-day forecast? Can we help you with something, T-Rex? We're trying to focus over here. It's hard enough. Anyhow, even though it's going above freezing, I think I will still have snow on the ground tomorrow, and it's probably going to snow around here tomorrow night into Wednesday, so we'll probably still have snow on the ground, even though we're going to lose the water ice into the middle of the week. So it'll end up being 10 or 11 days in a row with snow on the ground, and that hasn't happened in a couple of winters around here. So I thank you all, my helpers. I consider every one of my viewers a helper, and we're learning together. And this video is a lot like a soap opera. You have to watch it every day to keep track of the characters, the weather being a huge character, changing all the time. And the forecast change, let me tell you about it. No one's allowed to walk by our house, right, T-Rex? You tell them. The Enmore, yesterday was a very lazy day. Kind of fun. Football games were a blast. So you saw all of them. Just really, really fun football. Sorry to see the Bills go out because I kind of wanted to watch another game in Buffalo if we could have done that. Anyhow, more football next week. It's hockey season. Celtics are doing great. And all right, it's long enough now, huh? 12 minutes, a little and more from yesterday. And more and more and more. How about this little routine where the tug lets go and goes around to the other side to make the left-hand turn. So they had to take a right-hand turn out of the Fore River. Now they got to take a left-hand turn to go into the Hull Gut. And this never gets old. So pretty, and I love those colors too. Can you read it? I can't read it. All right. That's it. Stop, Tim. Let's go to the and more. And more, and more, and more, and more. I always forget something, and this is still the Monday issue here. And that storm that went by here last Friday and turned into that bomb, 947 low north of Ireland, where the wind is gusting to 105 miles an hour last night near Scotland. Anyhow, that did generate that swell, and the World Surf League this morning, it's probably over now for today, did show the Tudor Big Wave competition off of Portugal this morning. Live stream, just amazing to watch. The technology so advanced, the rescues, and just got to check that out. World Surf League, WSL, for that competition, and the production of that. The audio and video and play-by-play is just tremendous. We've come so far that we can watch that live streaming from across the ocean. Are you done, Tim? Yeah, I guess so. Can never stop. Could be a slow day for and more. It's just sunny and cold and dry, and this is just sort of a what do you call it when you go provisional? When you hit a ball into the woods, you don't know if you can find it. I'm going to do a provisional and more if the cat's all snuggly and warm. And there's our skiff that only reveals itself at low tide on this Sunday afternoon. It's cold, the wind is slowly easing, and the solar energy is melting some of the ice, even though it's still only in the low 20s. Trying to do a little forensic meteorology, but it's kind of hairy working on a Sunday afternoon when you're taking care of a Maine Coon cat. Don't you have some mouse to chase or something? Mine? Where'd the gull go? There was just a gull there. And the moon, that's called the wolf moon. Chilly, isn't it? And how about a look at our glaciated road? Not as bad a glacier as I might have thought. Be dripping again this week. I think it's worse down below down there, to tell you the truth. Yeah, not bad. There we get some glacier now. Ah, it's fresh right there. Fresh. Gorgeous day. Pretty cold. And another day in the books. Sun just about over the horizon, but it's good that the sun is on the rocks down there, and I can see the illuminated ice from last night. Be a little thicker in the morning. And then looking out towards Hull, you can see the sun reflecting off the homes. Looking east at sunset, reflecting off the buildings where the sun's going down in the west. Over there. I keep forgetting to mention, because I do these things in the morning, that the moon and Jupiter have been right next to each other. Now the moon's going farther east and the Jupiter is just kind of hanging, so the moon's going to be chasing Jupiter across the sky tonight. Waxing wolf moon. Very cold Sunday, January 21. Oh, there's another planet up there to the left of the moon. What's that? I would have to guess be like Mars, right? Or Saturn. Oh, looks like it's not a planet at all. Looks like it's Capella. Can you see that? I guess you can't. It says Capella, which is a star. There's Jupiter. It's the last Sunday Night Football. We're gonna miss you, Carrie.
Brings us on the air every Sunday night. It's pretty cool. And I know we're expecting company tonight. That is not the one, but it sure does look like.
We're gonna change the channel though to watch this next game, right? I don't even know.